The XXL Freshman list. Man, it's been so long since I've been on their site, dude. Um, and a lot of people already talked about it and trashed the list and all that. And they're right. You know what I mean? I think it's cool Ray Vaughn made it onto the list. Ray Vaughn's actually really dope to me, man. Um, do they got all their freestyles here? Yeah, they do. Um, I'm not. I don't think I'm gonna watch their freestyles just because there's so many of them to watch. You know what I mean? Um, Overall, though, bro, like, whatever. I'm not gonna trash these artists. You know what I mean? Because they worked hard to be where they're at. Um, like Laser Dim, I've heard some stuff from him. He's pretty dope. Um, I think I heard some Low Shimmy. He's pretty dope. I think Jello, like, I like his whole thing where he's making music he wants. You know what I mean? Where it sounds like some throwback shit. I think that shit's cool. You know what I mean? 1900 Rugrat. I'm pretty sure this guy's from Florida. So that's an yep, Florida. Automatic. I fuck with you automatically. You know what I mean? He's probably dope too, man. Or not probably dope. I've heard some stuff from. He's actually like surprisingly good. Um, then I've never heard of this lady. Eam Triplin, never heard of him. Ian, dog shit rapper, weird white kid. You know what I mean? Pretty sure he's the meme where he's like this, standing in his gay little polos. Um, and the fact is, bro, the freshman list has always been a very contentious thing. You know what I mean? When I was younger, when I was actively pushing to be a rapper, which never worked out. New mixtape on the way, or new album on the way called Failed Rapper, by the way. Um, you know, me and like my rapper friends would always be like, oh, they fucking suck. You know what I mean? And, even like looking back at some of the other freshman lists, um, there kind of always has been like questionable entries and also like really good ones that prove to be like guys turned out to be like legendary off that shit. Like one list in particular, bro, like it was Kendrick, Freddie Gibbs, J. Cole, Big Sean. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure they were all on the same list together. Nipsey. um you know there were certain lists that were like amazing. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna shit on these guys. This is what it is. You know what I mean? Rayvon had some awesome songs drop this year. Jello had that one song that was like to me it was dope. Like I love that shit. Um, where's Dim from? Georgia. Yeah, he's pretty good too. Cardo got wings. Shout outs to him, bro. Even though you got me blocked on Twitter and I never tweeted at you before in my life, I still love you, bro. Like your music is amazing, inspiring, and you know, uh, very foundational to many producers. But one thing that the freshman list has the biggest thing that the freshman list has done to me or for me, is introduce me to Tyler the Creator. And you might be wondering, Tyler the Creator was never on the freshman list, and you'd be right. You'd be right, but around that year, people were like in the comments, "Oh man, Tyler isn't on the," because he had crazy fans back then, bro. He still does, but he had crazy fans back then who were like, "Fuck this list, man. Tyler should have been on it. The whole list should have been on Future." And they made such a big deal about it that I went and checked out Tyler the Creator, and he's been like one of my favorite rappers ever since, bro. And shout outs to him and his new album. So overall, I don't think XXL will ever get it 100% right. But I feel like within the conversation of the freshman list, um, you can find people that you truly like. You know what I mean? It might be a couple artists that are introduced to you from the list. You know what I mean? But then it might be an artist that their fans are making a crazy big deal about them not being on the list, and then you go check that guy out and be like, oh yeah, I like this guy. You know what I mean? I wish we could see like older like classes or whatever. You know what I mean? But like, oh yeah, like see J. Cole, Nipsey Hussle. I think this is I forget who that is. Wiz, OJ the Juice Man, Freddie Gibbs, Fashawn, man. I haven't seen Fashawn in so long, dude. He's dope. Yeah, Kendrick was on this list with Yellow Wolf, Fred the Godson, YG, Sci-Hi, Meek Mill. Um, yeah, bro. $10 for a fucking magazine? What the fuck? $10? This is one of my favorite lists right here, the '09, you know, with Kid Cudi, Currency. Who else was on that list? Asher Roth, Mickey Fax, I believe. The Cool Kids might have been on it, but I don't think they were. Um, yeah, this list right here is great, dude. Fucking J Rock, Big Sean. What's this guy's name again? Donis. Donis was dope, man. Fashawn was fire. He did like a Illmatic cover album, bro. Freddie Gibbs, legend, bro. At this point, a fucking legend, bro. OJ the Juice Man, legend to some people, I guess. Nipsey Hussle, the fucking GOAT, dude. Wiz back here, you know what I mean? Right? He probably had Black and Yellow out at this time already. If not, it was about to drop. Cole, you know what I mean? Uh, this one right here, Lil B, bro. Kendrick, Crit, Meek Mill, you know what I mean? Sci-Hi, Lil Twist back here. Fred the Mac Miller, yeah, that's sick. That was a good list. Um, this one was weird because 2012 Future was on the XXL Freshman list. Um, Macklemore, you know what I mean? MGK, you know what I mean? Jeez, I got 3 white people in this one. That's kind of that's kind of weird. French Montana, Danny Brown, Hobson, Roscoe Dash, Kurt Cobangs, Joey, Absol, Trinidad James. Guys, we did Trinidad James super dirty, bro. Cause like I used to love his projects, bro. His first album, I love it, bro. You know what I mean? The 10-piece mild or whatever he put out after that, super dope, man. He's got a lot of good mixtapes. Who's this chick? Angel Hayes. I didn't want to say the wrong name. But yeah, Travis Scott is on this list. Dizzy Wright, Schoolboy, Action Bronson, Logic, which, you know, questionable. This list right here, I think this is like right before this is like I stopped really giving a fuck. This is probably the last list I really cared about. But this right here, is that Dirk? Yeah, Dirk. There's a lot of Chicago on this one, which is pretty cool. You know, Bibby, Chance, Dirk, Vic Mensa. Is Vic Mensa from Chicago? Yeah, I feel like half of this fucking list is Chicago, bro. You know, Troy Ave's little sweet ass back here. Kevin Gates. Is that Kevin Gates? Yeah, which is weird, right? Um, but that is a solid list back right here. You know what I mean? Um, Built to Win. 2015, man. Holy crap. So this one's pretty good though, right? Gold Link. OG Mako. I love OG Mako. Me and OG Mako had like the same rap name back in the day, and it was kind of funny because it was like a regular name. It wasn't like a Lil whatever or Young whatever. It was like a first and last name, and our shits were so fucking close. It was weird. I kind of wanted to hit him up because I found him before he got big, and then he got big, and I realized it was the same dude, and I was like, "Fuck, dude." Vince Staples, love Vince Staples. Who doesn't love Vince Staples? You know what I mean? Fetty Wap, legend, bro. This list right here. This is kind of when the ciphers started becoming a joke, like Lil Dicky, Jesus, just what we needed. In 2016, Lil Dicky, this fucking, you know. And then 2017, pretty solid, right? Amine, he's dope. Playboy Cardi, is that who that is? Is it? Yeah, Playboy Cardi. X is dope. P&B, dope. Um, yeah, Ugly God. He had some cool stuff. Um, yeah. This list, I definitely wasn't tapped in for this shit. Lil Mosey, is two females. YK Osiris. I actually engineered for YK Osiris before. Um, very like nobody at the studio wanted to engineer for this kid. Um, and it is because he was fucking annoying and tried to not pay. Um, this is weird. I don't even remember this cover, right? Baby Keem, NLE, 24K Golden. See, this is where I think around here, even though Gunna's still doing well for himself, I guess. The baby, he's doing okay. Blueface is yeah, Blueface is Blueface. Oh, Meg is on this one. Jeez. This cover looks good, but it's like I don't remember any of this. Doechii was on this one in 2022. That's interesting. 23. I don't know any of these guys except Central C. Glorilla. And this was their bracket. Who is the biggest and best XXL freshman ever? Okay, Kendrick over French Montana any day of the week. Lil Durk over Meek. Nipsey over Yachty. Mac over the baby. You got to put Travis Scott over. Well, no, Anderson .Paak actually had a crazy run with the Bruno Mars shit. So that's actually a pretty decent, weird but decent comparison. Gunna over Rod Wave. I don't really like Rod Wave. Uzi over Lotto. Cuddy over Chief Keef. Yeah, sure. J. Cole or Vince Staples. You kind of have to say J. Cole, even though I like Vince Staples better. Kodak Black over Chance. Wiz over 21. X over Boogie. Future over Jack. Meg over Sean. Glorilla over Doechii. And then, Joey Badass over Cardi. Doechii over Cardi. Meg over Future. X over Wiz. And Cole over Kodak, I guess. Then Kendrick over Dirk. Nipsey over Mac. Anderson over Gunna. Uzi over Cuddy. Right? And then here we got Glorilla versus Meg. You kind of got to go with Meg. X over Well, yeah. I don't know. J. Cole might be over X. Yeah, but I don't know who's the ultimate freshman. It's the guy who wasn't on the freshman list who's super successful now, beyond any success that we've seen or expected from him. And that would be our boy Tyler, the Creator. You know,